Hi, how are you? Thank you for stopping in or stopping in again. We're carrying on with this mandala, and right now I'm doing these sections here, and I don't have any method to my madness. I'm just doing what I'm doing, I guess. I hope everybody is having a great day. I'm feeling pretty good myself, and just because it's getting closer and closer to my holidays, and even though I'm retired and I'm not really having a vacation away from anything, I really do look forward to going up north. I'm hoping. I've got a pair of binoculars, and I have an attachment, and I'm hoping the attachment is for like just a phone camera, but I'm hoping if it works, and I really should go out at night and try it here. I'm hoping that if it works, I can get a really nice shot of the Milky Way. I mean, that's my dream, to get a really nice shot of the Milky Way. And some people are just so darn good at it. The cottages where we stay, and we're lucky, there's 2 cottages right on the lake, and we always get one, because you have to book it a year in advance. I was making, oh yeah, so the cottage is right on the lake, so it's always nice and dark, and I'm hoping that we get a nice shot of it. I mean, people that have stayed there have always sent the owners photos of the pictures they've taken while they're there, and there are some really beautiful pictures of the Milky Way, and actually moose coming up from the lake and walking between the 2 cottages on the lake. I almost said cottages. I must be thinking of cats. I have been watching a lot of animal videos. But anyway, so I don't know how long this is going to take. I'm trying to go, well, I'm not trying to go as fast as I can. In the part 1 video of this, boy oh boy were there ever some issues. But got that all taken care of. I just keep pulling wax off the pen, because every time you pick up one of these, the wax seems to squirt out, but yeah, that's a nothing issue, an absolutely nothing issue. So I'm hoping that there's only going to be 2 parts to this, but I don't know. I shouldn't even try to second guess myself. I'm just going to go around like this. Seems to make sense to me anyway. I hope you guys are seeing this okay. I really don't know if you are, but I've got the camera pretty high. It's a non-adjustable lens, but someday I'm going to get a better camera. Not the most expensive cameras, but a better camera. I like the, I do like the camera I have now. It's very good for other things. It's not expensive. I think it costs around $100, if that. But, you know, beggars can't be choosers. So, yeah, I really do. I don't care what the price is. I mean, I'm not going to spend $6,000 for a camera, or even $1,000 for a camera. I mean, you know, I'm not that person. But I do want one with an adjustable lens. I know what I want in a camera. And because most of the stuff I do is down facing, I really don't need a lot, but for personal stuff and, you know, outdoorsy things, I would really like a better camera. And I want a camcorder, not a camera, because they're designed for making videos. You can also take pictures with it, but it is designed for taking videos. So if you're doing videos, I think you should have a camcorder. But that's what things are like in my brain anyway. I don't know. So I hope everybody has been getting out and enjoying this really hot weather we've been having. It never did, as far as I know, it never rained last night. There was no thunderstorms. They're predicting that again today for this evening, for late evening, and I think they're just going to keep predicting it until they get it right. Because who can predict the weather, really? I mean, you can have a pretty good idea. And these guys and gals, they study it, so they should know better than most people. I would love to tear this plastic right off, but I really don't want the glue to get unsticky because I've had enough problems with this so far. Did I? Yes. So the nice thing about this mandala is I can just keep going around and around, and I guess that's the way we're going to have to do it. If my camera quits, and the way that this camera quits is it will record 30 minutes, and then it will stop and immediately start recording again, and then you know, whether you get an extra minute or 10 minutes or 20 minutes depends on how much memory you have after it does the initial 30 minutes. So, and I'm not, like, I like watching videos that are really long because I can kind of watch them and listen to them while I'm doing other things. And some people have the most soothing voices, I'm telling you. There's videos that I absolutely love just because of the voice of the creator. And I always think my voice sounds like Mickey Mouse. And the reason, and I have thought that for years, that my voice sounds like Mickey Mouse. When I was at college, we had to do this thing where, I guess it was a role-playing activity, and I can't remember what the purpose of it was. But we were videotaped in our each of our little vignettes, and I heard my voice and I wanted to cry. I thought it sounded like Mickey Mouse, and I never ever wanted to hear my voice again. When back in the days when you could put a, I guess you still can, put an automated voice on your, oh geez, I'm losing my mind. An automated voice on your telephone for messages. I would always use the automated one because I thought I sounded like Mickey Mouse. And I guess I still do. I think I'm getting used to hearing my voice though. And, you know, everybody else has got to put up with it, so I should be able to too. So I'm hoping that I can get more than just these little arrows done. The arrow symbol is what I'm talking about. But I still haven't, I've got some crazy glue here, the little packets, and I still have to fix the spot that had no glue on it. I can't even, I know it's the pink ones, so I'm probably looking right at it, but I can't see it right now. But I think it's pink ones. So I want to, and nobody else would probably ever notice that, but I do, and wow, it bothers me knowing that it's like that, and I wouldn't want somebody to look at one of my diamond paintings and say, hey, you're missing 3 diamonds right here. But mostly it's an internal thing. We kind of want everything that we do to be perfect, and nothing in this world is perfect. Nothing. I mean, I can't think of anything physical that is perfect. There may be perfect love and things like that, but not anything material, that's for sure. Not in my life anyway. But we like to try to make them as perfect as we can. And I think that's one of the joys of doing diamond painting, is it's a lot more easy to be perfect because it's all laid out for you. It's like doing a jigsaw puzzle, or if you're doing square drills, it's a lot like doing a mosaic, but on a miniature scale. But everything is lined up and worked out for us, and all we have to do is think about finding the right drill or diamond or rhinestone and putting it where it's indicated, which was kind of weird on part 1 when I put these stones in the wrong place, because when I was kitting up, I reversed there's 10 types of rhinestones, and I reversed number 9 with number 10, but I fixed it, so that's good. And the glue is holding quite nicely, so, oops, hold on, there you go. And you can still slide these around a bit if you put them in the wrong spot. My voice is kind of, I was outside a lot yesterday, and I think the allergies really got to me. Honestly, I have never had allergies like this in my life, and I have never had allergies before. And I actually had an allergy test at, well, my doctor arranged it at the hospital, and they tested me for everything, and I was not allergic to anything. So I don't know, I'm pretty sure they tested me for hay fever, and I know they tested me for cat hair, dog hair. It was all up my arm, like from here down, and there was 3 rows. So I'm pretty sure they tested, or maybe it was 2 rows, but it was all up and down my arm, and I'm pretty sure they tested me for everything they could. And I am not allergic to anything, which absolutely blows my mind. And you know what? A friend said to me, well, maybe you're not allergic, maybe you're just sensitive. And it's true, I could just have sensitivities to these things. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, and thank goodness there are doctors, but whatever it is, it gets in my nose, it gets in my throat, makes my eyes run, which is, oh, I'm getting right out of view here, aren't I? Makes my eyes run, and it's not a comfortable feeling. I mean, it's not like, oh, I can't go to work today, I'm having allergies. It's not one of those kind of feelings. it's just aggravating because you still have to do all the things you have to do. You really have no excuse not to, but it just makes you feel yucky, I guess is what I'm trying to say. What is going on here? You shouldn't be there. Oh, get out. Okay, that's better. Sometimes they stick onto where the wax is sticking out and they get stuck on there and you don't notice it. And then they just jump on to the spot they shouldn't be. But that's okay. Everything we do here makes it more interesting. It's not aggravating, but it does make it interesting. Come on, let's get you guys out of here. Some of these, oh, that doesn't go there either. I'm losing it. It's me that's losing it. I'm working on blue arrows. That's all I should be putting these on, is blue arrows. I do like these little clear ones. They sort of add emphasis to the other colors. Okay. So yeah, looking forward to holidays. I have a ton of laundry to do. And I'm going to go through my clothes, and because it's been a long time, and just take things that don't fit me and get rid of them because I really don't have a lot of space here. Well, and there's that truck back there digging up the streets for some reason. It looks like they're replacing some portions of the sidewalks out there. Okay, that's okay, it needs to be done. Whoops. Come back here, you. I should have a magnet thingy. I'll just put you there. That's heavy enough, I think. You all see what I'm doing? No, probably not. Okay. So, the next one, well, I'm not going to talk about the next one yet, because I don't know how long it's going to take me to finish this one. I'm hoping not too long. I want to do some keychains too. They've been sitting there waiting for me for a while now. And I think it's time that I at least tried them. And then, because the diamonds are going onto what I think is an acrylic back, and they're double-sided, I think they have to be sealed in some sort of way, and I'm trying to think of what I could be sealing them with, but I'm not sure yet. I got this sealer, it was in my Temu haul, and it says diamond painting sealer, but it also says PVA, and PVA is just ordinary white glue. You know, like carpenter's glue. I think carpenter's glue might be a bit stronger, but that's basically what it is. The white glue for just gluing paper together, doing paper mache. So I'm not going to be using this as a sealer. Well, I'm going to test it on a diamond painting at some point, one that I'm not thrilled with, I guess. But and here I am holding it like this so you can't see it. I'm hoping that you could see it, but I don't see how. But it does say PVA in green there. Anyway, so I've got to think about how I'm going to seal them because I would hate to make the keychains and then have all the diamonds fall out. But, I mean, I have lots of them. Lots and lots. More than I could ever use. So that means stocking stuffers. Yay! Well, already thinking about Christmas gifts. How about that? I think when the kids were little, I would think about stocking stuffers and gifts when, about the time that they were going back to school. Because, of course, you do your Christmas shopping when they're at school. And that way, Christmas is always a surprise to them. And there's nothing, I remember Christmas mornings when I was a kid. We always got, I had 3 brothers, we always got a pair of pajamas and a kimono, if you'd grown out of the other one. My mom always bought things that were so big for us because we were growing. So I remember one dress, oh my God, I actually never grew into it, it was so big. But yeah, we'd always get pajamas and 1 toy each, and in our stockings we would have an orange and these weird hard cream candies that had like a granular sugar coating on them. And then there was the other hard candies that were like mints and things like that, and I hated both of those kinds. But we'd eat them because they were sweet. One year, my grandma lived with us. I was so lucky. Anyway, she made gingerbread cookies, and she made really big gingerbread cookies. And we each got one. And now, mind you, I was little, so I could be wrong, but I swear it was like that big. It was a horse. And, of course, it was decorated with a saddle and a bridle and that kind of stuff. And the decorations were in royal icing. And I think you've all heard my horror story about royal icing. But these gingerbread cookies, and I didn't know what royal icing was called back then, but these gingerbread cookies were, that's one Christmas I will never forget. I haven't forgotten, I will never forget. I do miss my grandma and my mom and dad, but you know, as we're getting older in life, we're going to lose a lot of people. And it's hard every single time. It never gets easy. Hi, so the camera quit. So I actually have it attached to the charger now. I don't know if it's good for the camera. Just ran up the stairs. I don't know if it's good for the camera to charge while it's recording, but we'll see. Anyway, I finished all the blue arrows, I think. So we're going to do these big red ones. And it's funny, I've been looking around, and it looks like these are the only other big ones, which means I'm going to have a lot of spare. I think I should just take this off for now and put it that way so I don't forget what side is up. Anyway, I can't remember what I was talking about because that's me. Absolutely no memory of what I'm doing. So these just go on those purple ones. I don't even know if you can see the colors as they're meant to be. So I don't know how long it's going to take me to finish this, but it shouldn't be more than 4 hours, which is a very long time if you have to listen to me. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so I know I was talking about getting older and losing people at some point and all of that stuff. I think we'll do, I don't know. Let's do straight lines. Don't seem to be many of those. And these are the pale blue ones. you to be able to see what I'm doing. Otherwise, this is absolutely pointless, isn't it? Some wax there. Those little bits of wax honestly get everywhere. But I just have to keep cleaning and sweeping and cleaning and sweeping. This mat is silicone. And it gets all this dust on it because some of these canvases, I guess, are old. They seem to be old because they, you know, you unwrap them and then all of a sudden there's all this dust on them, which I guess could be the gesso, if they're covered in gesso. Like this feels pretty slick, not like gesso at all, but I don't know. Anyway, so there probably is going to be a part 3 to this. I can't imagine that this is going to be done in 2 parts. There's just too many diamonds, which is wonderful because it's going to look great when it's done. It's a lot. I thought it was going to be very blue looking, but I think it's going to be very colorful, that's for sure. So yeah, I was talking about getting older, and then that reminded me that I've been dyeing my hair for many years now. I know that there's gray in it. I know there's lots of gray in it. I don't know how much. But I told myself when I quit work that I wasn't going to dye my hair anymore, that I was just going to let it grow out and cut it short and then just let it do what it wants to do, because these hair dye chemicals are pretty heavy. But I look in the mirror and I think, I'm not ready for this. And you know, it's not like I'm dating or anything, or I care what people think about me. It's in my head, I'm not ready to go gray. But I'm thinking about doing it this fall, just to see what it would be like. And the reason I'm thinking about doing it in the fall is because then I can wear a toque and have a darn good reason to have my hair covered all the time, because when ladies wear hats, they do not have to remove them when they go indoors. At least that's the way it was. I know all these etiquette things are out the window and have been for a while now. But anyway, that's my plan. So we'll see how that goes. And who knows, I might look better with totally gray hair, or white, or salt and pepper, or whatever it is, because I honestly don't know. I've been thinking maybe it would be faster and easier to go to the hairdresser and just have it all stripped out, but then we're dealing with even harsher chemicals, and I don't know what would happen to your hair if they chemically remove the dye, because I dye it at home with permanent dye, and the reason I use permanent dye is, oh, I don't remember. I think I probably read something somewhere that said, oh, if you're dyeing your hair, you should use permanent dye. I have very coarse hair, and it doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't seem to take dye very well. Now, I don't know if that's because it's coarse or if that's because it's gray or white or salt and pepper. I don't know what color it is. But I guess that's something we all go through. Bless these women that have never dyed their hair in their life and don't have to go through this. You know, some people are just so confident and, you know, just do what they want and don't care about that. Now, I have a cousin and she used to be a hairdresser, but then she got tired of using all the chemicals, so she went to barbering and never had to deal with dyeing women's hair or perming women's hair, which is more harsh chemicals. So she's retired now, of course. I think all of my relatives are, if they're alive, they're retired. I'm pretty sure all of them are. Anyway, that's what you get for living longer than you should. You gotta take care of yourself. Life might surprise you with how long you're gonna live. Anyway, so I'm gonna keep on doing this until we get down there. Now, about the keychains, and like, if I was going to seal this, I would seal it probably with just an ordinary sealant, like a spray sealant. Gosh, those bits of wax are getting everywhere. But for the keychains, and I guess the keychains are kind of like this too. I just don't know. I know that I'm not going to be trying that PVA stuff, though. That is absolutely for sure, because I know what PVA is, and I know that it is not going to be a good sealer. But, and, you know, I could think, well, maybe PVA means something different in China, but I don't think so, because that side of the box is written in English. So I'm going to maybe try urethane, but I don't know if urethane will work on plastics. I don't know what kind of plastic urethane is. I meant, when I said work on plastics, I meant work on acrylics, because I don't know what kind of plastic urethane is, or how it reacts with acrylics. So a little bit of investigation or Googling will help. Excuse me, I've got the hiccups now. Oh, this is not a classy operation. I'm telling you that right now. This is too funny. Anyway, so yeah. So I've got to do some Googling to find out what that's all about. And today is Tuesday, I believe, because somebody came and took my garbage away, so it must be Tuesday. And when you're retired, the days of the week don't seem to matter much. It's, you know, it's garbage day, it's shopping day, it's days are measured in the things you do on those days, and weekends don't seem to matter unless you want to get together with friends that are working. Then weekends still matter, because they're not going to take time out of their working day. So you have to plan weekends. Come on. Oh no, there's enough of you in there. Maybe there's not enough wax in the pen. I'm telling you, I'm constantly refilling this pen. I feel like drilling it out so that it holds more wax, but that wouldn't matter, because it only uses the wax that's at the top. It's very shallow. It's probably, the hole for the wax is probably no deeper than maybe a thick fingernail. It just doesn't have capacity. But like I said last time, I saw this pen, and I know that Diamond Painting Jim has bought the pen that holds wax, but the pen that I saw, you could actually push, like it was filled with wax, And you could actually push it down, and so it's more like a pencil, but it has a hard tip so that you can, you know, when you put down your diamond or rhinestone or whatever, you can still push it around. With the pencil, you cannot do that at all. I do love my pencil extender though, and I actually think I bought these, I don't know, maybe 15 years ago, maybe longer. I think, no, actually I don't think, because I haven't got a clue what I was going to say. Anyway, I don't want to go on too long with this, but I would like to at least get this color, which is the pale blue finished. But you know what, this might end up being 4 parts, but that's okay, because you're someone that I can talk to without feeling like I'm talking to myself, even though I am talking to myself. So I might do some off camera. I don't know. It's funny because they gave me lots of these big stones, but I mean, there's lots of places they could have put them, but it's all down to small stones now. But that's okay. I should be saying drills, but these aren't really drills. These are little rhinestones, so I feel justified. I feel justified in calling them stones. And they feel like stones when you put them down too. They're kind of hard little guys. Get in there again. Okay. Yeah, this one is nice. The other thing that you could do instead of coating these, although I think they should be coated because all glue dries up, and when glue dries up, everything that's glued to it falls off. This would look really nice behind glass, I think. Or I would say coated in resin, but resin always yellows. So that's, which is unfortunate, because if resin didn't yellow, I mean, the things that you could do with it would be amazing. But that's life. Okay, where are we now? Here. Can you still see? There. I should check that more often to see if you can see. I'm sorry when I blank out and you can't see. My throat is so sore. I have to have more coffee. I'm drinking out of a mug a friend gave me when I retired. It says, to do. It's like a little to-do list. And it says, 1, nap. 2, nap. 3, relax. And I think it could go on with more naps. And more relaxing and more sleeping. But it's cute. It sort of encourages me not to do any of those 3 things during the day. Although I do like to have a nap now and then. Sometimes I can't. Sometimes I'll just turn on the TV and whatever happens to be on there, I'll listen to that and have maybe 20 minutes. Or sometimes an audio book, because if I start reading, I'll be asleep in about halfway through a paragraph, and I will be sound asleep. I've always been a good sleeper. Although there's been times lately where I haven't really been sleeping much at all, and I don't know if there's something bothering me subconsciously, because I can't think of anything that's bothering me like in the physical world, that there must be something that's when I say physical world, I mean, I don't know consciously if there's something bothering me, but it's quite possible that there could be something bothering me subconsciously. And there's nothing I can do about that. This meditation is always good. And I try to meditate every now and then too. And my friends used to joke and say if I was horizontal, I was sleeping, because if I got too comfortable, I would fall asleep. Which also might not be something to be proud of, although, you know, when they were complaining about not being able to sleep, I was sleeping like, just sleeping like a rock. But maybe there was something wrong with me. Maybe my body was telling me to sleep because it was trying to heal something. Like, who knows? I've never had COVID. 2 people that I know have had COVID. 2 friends that I know have had COVID. I know that there's a lot more than that have had COVID. I think one of my friends actually has long COVID, but I'm just going to wish good things for her and not talk about that. Don't want to jinx anything. I know, I'm kind of superstitious for somebody that doesn't believe in superstitions. I mean, I know that it's bad luck to walk under a ladder because the ladder could fall or something could fall off the ladder and hurt you. I know it's bad luck if a black cat, or any cat for that matter, crosses your path because you could trip over them. It was funny, when I was working, I used to have to drive way out in the country, and there was one road, and it was a very swirly road and very hilly, so you couldn't really see all the way along this little 2-lane road. It was a solid white line because you couldn't see anything coming at all because it was hilly and curvy. And one day I was going down that road, and thank goodness I wasn't speeding. Not that I do speed. I try not to. There's times when, you know, your body gets that hurry up signal and you think you should. But anyway, so I was coming up over a hill and into a curve, and there's this farmer, and she's standing in the middle of the road, and she's got maybe 40, maybe 40 cows crossing the road. So obviously I wait for the cows to cross and the farmer to say go ahead. And the next time I was driving down that road, when I got to the point where I'm about to go up that hill and around that curve, I slowed right down to nothing. That is a superstition. That's because I believed that if I went fast up that hill, I might run into a bunch of cows crossing the road. And I think that's exactly what a superstition is. And there were cows crossing the road, because I guess I was always going to the place I was going at the same time that the farmer, there was 2 of them, male and female, but there was only ever one of them crossing the cows, and it could be either one of them. And yeah, I guess that's what happened. So little ways down the road, or in time, I meant little further in time, I'm going there, and the cows start crossing over, and they had just started crossing over into the field across the road. The farmer had actually, I saw the first cow, so they just started. So I slowed down, and I think there was a oncoming car too that slowed down. Anyway, we're all stopped. So I think it's going to be like less than 5 minutes and I'll be on the road again. I'll be away. And when about the 5th or 6th cow got to the fence, it decided that the grass was greener down the road. So it didn't go through the fence. It went down the road quite a ways. It went down to a house, not a farm, a house, down the road, and was eating grass. Now, I didn't see that until after I got down the road, but once that cow decided it was going down the road, the cows that had crossed into the field decided, hey, where's he going? I think we better follow him. So they went, and all the cows that were coming out of the gate, they decided, well, no point in going across the road. Like, it looks like, well, we'll cross the road, but we're not going to go into that field. We're going to go down the road to wherever these guys are going. So, herd mentality, right? So, these cows went down the road, and so that took a little bit longer. But you know what? It's peaceful out in the country, and it's nice to see the cows, and you know that it makes it feel like the world is turning in exactly the way it should, and I never minded stopping for cows or geese. Oh my gosh, we're always stopping for geese up here. I don't know what it's like in the other provinces, but in Ontario, oh, these geese. What are you doing there? I don't even know what color you are. You go there. Okay. I'm always talking to my drills and telling them to behave. And we're back to blue again, mostly. Not wax everywhere. So yeah, it's nice. And you know what? I was using my camera in the car for navigation, so I couldn't take a picture. And somehow it felt like it wouldn't be right to take a picture, and I don't know why. It was, you know, I'm sure a million people would do it. It just, at that point, just didn't seem right. It seemed like a very beautiful moment in time, and that should be a memory and not a picture, although pictures are memory. I don't know, I'm stupid. But there's just some things that, you know, I don't care if there's a picture or not, because it was just a beautiful moment in a beautiful area. I remember talking to one of my patients, and I'd gotten to his house, and I can't even remember what happened, but I saw something, and I said to him, you know, if only I could capture all these images in my mind of the things that I see, you know, I would be such a happy person. And he said that it doesn't matter as long as you've got your memory. And then he started telling me about something that he had seen that he will never forget, and it's in his mind as sharp as any photo. And he started to tell me about, apparently he came from Alberta, which is another province, and he came to Ontario, and he was driving, and I don't know like what the time frame is. I assume he was living in Ontario and had gone back to Alberta and was coming back to Ontario, but he was on the Trans-Canada. I don't even know if it's called the Trans-Canada now, the 401, whatever. So he's on this highway, and the Trans-Canada, or the 401, or whatever they're calling it, runs from the tip of the East Coast all the way, like from the Atlantic to the Pacific. Very long highway. Well, the longest in Canada, no doubt. So he was telling me he was driving along the highway, and he stopped somewhere. Now, the Trans-Canada in a lot of places is a very lonely highway. There is a lot of nothing in Canada. Everything in Canada is crowded down towards the south, towards the American border. That's where everything is. So when you're coming from Alberta to Ontario, you have to go through Manitoba as well. It's a very, very long and very lonely drive. Oh, I guess I missed one of those red ones. Anyway, so he said that he was driving along and he saw this, or he stopped to eat something. I think he stopped at a restaurant, got some food, ate some of it there, took some of it with him, and he stopped and was having a bit of dinner, and he looked up at the sky and he said that he saw this UFO. And he told me in great detail what it looked like and what it was doing, and he said that he wasn't scared, because I said I'd be terrified. I think it's always terrifying if you see something you don't believe in, and honestly, I don't believe in it. I think that there are drones. I absolutely believe in drones. I think there might be drones from other countries. And they might be, you know, American, Chinese, Russian, I don't know. Could be just people fooling around with drones. Like, drones have been available to the public for
quite some time, and I know that there's restricted areas, but I think that, you know, if you're out in the middle of nowhere, you could certainly have some fun with people flying your drone. I've also think maybe kites, because there's some people out there making really beautiful kites. I think it's time for another cup of coffee. There we are. Okay. I think I'm going to end it here because the camera is about to die right now. So yeah, I'll be back with part 3 for sure. Bye-bye now.